at this event, people from Amazon and Alexa made it very clear that in addition to Sports Highlight coming up, you will be able to perhaps buy sports tickets to events, buy movie tickets, arrange fantasy football teams, and I think somewhere down the road, maybe not too far down the road, given the NBA on Prime deal, they will allow sports betting on the television set through Alexa Plus.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
I'm done with the Buffalo Bills, and I'm not upset about it because they look vulnerable. I cannot believe this team is 4-0 because they could easily be 1-3. They are on their heels, and I can't believe they have not one but two double-digit victories in games they could have very well lost.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
The Americans got to find answers in these partnerships, and I think they need to look at their who's making these decisions from a stat standpoint.
Well, it's so funny to me, especially coming off of the Walker Cup just a few weeks before, how it just seems like there's this glaring chasm between American partnered match play and American individual, singles match play.
The Smiley Show, only on SportsGrid.
Mike Trout, will he ask for a trade? And maybe I'm a bit of a Neanderthal for asking this, and people are going to say, listen, he's never leaving. I refuse to accept that we're just not going to get Mike Trout postseason baseball ever again. Because clearly when healthy, he can still do it. But he's also rarely healthy and still kind of expensive. It's complicated.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
Welcome to another edition of the Craig Carton Show. Great to have you here. Tyrone A. Johnson on the other side of the room. As always, we'll get to his loser Phillies in a little bit, but you're all a bunch of suckers. You have to own that you are. I sit here every once in a while and I scoff and I laugh at the people that are going apoplectic about, oh my God, LeBron James and his second decision. What's he going to do? He's going to announce his retirement and go on a year-long tour of all NBA cities. Oh no, what's he going to do? Is he finally announce that Bronny James isn't an NBA basketball player? Is he going to announce it? No, we all know what's going on. LeBron James has all of you losers fooled that he was going to make a major announcement about the pending end of his storied career. And I sat back and I kicked my feet up and I said, you're all being had. Like, even when you know you're being had, you fall into the LeBron trap. He's not making an announcement in 59 minutes and 30 seconds about the future of his basketball career. He's not making an announcement about how he has a deal with the NBA to own a franchise in Las Vegas. And I saw a million other iterations of what will LeBron do with the second decision. It's a marketing deal. LeBron James has a deal with Hennessy. And he's going to announce that deal officially at noon today if it hasn't already leaked out all over the internet.
It's out.
And I'm sitting back going, you're a bunch of suckers. Like, there's a phone number for you people. It's called 1-800-SUCKER. Oh, LeBron James. Oh, is this it? Is this it? Is he coming back to play for the Lakers? Is LeBron James going to announce his retirement? And you know full well he's going to go on a retirement tour whenever he does that because he wants to be lauded and gifted by every other franchise in the league and the league itself. No. This is another selfish, me. Let me pull on the heartstrings of my stands, of the fans that, rise and go to sleep when I wake up and I go to sleep, because I am the sun in their lives. And this is nothing more than a weak-ass marketing ploy to promote a very specific liquor that, and I'll tell you about Hennessy, because I'm a Grand Marnier drinker. It's a cognac like Hennessy is. Mine's orange flavored. Hennessy is not. It is a very specific liquor. You either like it or you don't. It's kind of like, truffle oil. You either like it or you don't. There ain't no middle ground.
That's right.
Because it's got a very specific taste to it.
Yeah, that's right.
So if you're a cognac drinker, Hennessy is the creme de la creme. That's the number one selling cognac in this country. So throwing LeBron James' face on a box of Hennessy ain't going to sell one extra bottle of Hennessy, nor is it going to make anybody like it. Like, I drink Grand Marnier.
Yeah. That
is my liquor of choice. You either like it or you don't like it. If you put my handsome bald face on a box of Grand Marnier, ain't nobody buying it. You buy it if you know you like it. Now, I don't know. I can't speak for you.
No, I'm not.
Are you a Hennessy man?
I'm not a Hennessy man by trade, and I'm not going to go buy it now. I'm just.
You sure?
I'm not going to go buy. Why would
You sure? Well, LeBron James,
LeBron's
your hero,
on it.
your hero's face is on the box.
He's not my hero.
That's your guy.
I mean, he's the number one basketball player, if that's what you're asking. But no. But just real fast.
Oh, man.
Aren't you the big Yankee guy all of a sudden?
I'm a fake Yankee fan, yeah.
Yeah. Didn't Jeter do one of those tours that you just rip LeBron before LeBron even does the tour?
Jeter did not do the retirement tour.
Yes,
no, he did not. You can go back and check. Jeter did not do the retirement tour.
Didn't do the tour.
And by the way, LeBron is not going to be the first guy. He's not the first guy. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was the first
Dr.
guy
J did it.
that I'm aware of that ever did the actual retirement tour. Mm-hmm. And part of that was because he lost all of his belongings in a terrible house fire, and the NBA kind of got together collectively, and they wanted to get him like old memorabilia and things that he lost in the fire, and a car. I remember the Knicks gave him a Rolls Royce, but LeBron James just can't help himself. And there's a part of it, I want to be honest about it, because everyone knows I'm not a LeBron guy. Great basketball player, first ballot Hall of Famer, a top 5 player of all time. We can debate if he's 3rd, 4th, or 5th, but he's not 1 or 2. Everybody knows that.
Well, we can 1 or 2. We don't have to do that now. We don't have to do that now. We don't have to do that now.
During football season.
Yeah, we do it now.
We'll do it at some point. But this is the aspect of LeBron that drives people like me crazy. When I first saw it, and I saw it yesterday, when they put out that video of him going out to a random guy sitting in a chair, and they're calling it the second decision, which is a play on the first decision when he took his talents to Miami. You're taking a look at it right now, and he's playing into that. There's the swarmy nature of it that really ticks off non-LeBron guys. People who love LeBron got all caught up in themselves. Like, I watched it play out over the last, 18 hours or so, and all the different ideas people had for what was the decision. And, one of them, of course, was he's announcing this is it. 23rd year in the league. This is a wrap. This is the last year we're going to get LeBron. That day's obviously coming soon. Then you add other things like he's not playing at all. He's decided his body's not reacting the way he normally does in the offseason, so I'm not going to play at all. I'm done. But full well that's not how he would do that.
No.
He would do it with much more fanfare. Then people thought maybe it was a Bronny thing. Well, Bronny was 1 for 12, can't play basketball. Maybe he was announced that Bronny James is retiring. I don't know what it was, but I didn't buy into it. I knew full well this was some kind of advertising thing. I thought, to be fair with you, because I got it wrong also, I did not know he had to do with Hennessy, obviously.
This is new.
I've known they just announced it.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be an Amazon thing. Because today is like Amazon Prime Day.
Yeah, I bought something earlier.
I could have sworn it would have been an Amazon deal. Amazon's now a partner with the NBA.
Yep, brand
They'll
new.
be broadcasting games.
Yep,
that
brand
would have
new.
made sense to me. And the other thing, the one that I legitimately went with last night, my kids now, my kids are sports fans. We were trying to figure out, okay, what's the LeBron message? So as a family, the Cartons, participated in this crap that he wanted us to participate in. The Amazon was my first guess. 0 for 1. My second guess, and I would have said this, I would have given him a lot of credit and really appreciated if this was what the second decision was. Today is Tuesday.
Yeah.
He is very famous for eating tacos on Tuesday.
Right, he tried to trademark.
He actually tried to trademark the term Taco Tuesday, but someone else owns it.
Yeah,
I don't
he
know
couldn't.
what
They said no. Yeah.
Right, they said you can't own it. Other people own it, and you're stealing it anyway. You didn't invent the term Taco Tuesday. But to me, that would have been great if you had some connection with, like Chi-Chi's or Taco Bell, and announced it on Taco Tuesday. But no, it's just a cognac that A, the far majority of Americans cannot afford, and B, you either like it or you don't like it. And when you woke up this morning, you already knew the answer to that. Like, I know I don't drink Hennessy.
Right.
I've had it. I don't hate it that much, but I don't like it.
It's not your main drink.
So I don't drink it. So, if you take, I want to be fair about this. My favorite basketball player of all time is Bernard King. Legendary Nick in the Hall of Fame, right? If you slapped Bernard King's face on a bottle of Hennessy, I ain't going to buy it.
You sure?
If you put Jalen Brunson's face on a bottle of Hennessy,
limited,
I'm not going to buy it.
Even if it was a limited edition, Knicks, Jalen Brunson. I ain't going to
drink it. Now, if you tell me I'm going to treat it as a collectible,
there you go.
And I'm just going to have the bottle, in my house for people to come over and go, oh, look at that, Jalen Brunson Hennessy. But I'm never going to open it. I'm still not going to buy it.
All right.
That's not my thing.
All right.
Now, if Hennessy's like, yo, you're a big celebrity, you're in the Radio Hall of Fame, we want to be in business with you, we're going to give you some bottles for the house, I would certainly accept them.
I would accept them as well.
I would take them if they were for free.
Yeah.
But
we would take them as well, the crew.
Yeah, I'm not. So, anyhow, LeBron James is not retiring. Bronny James is no better at basketball.
Well, he's not retiring, though. Like, he was going to retire. Could you imagine if he stepped forward and retired?
That would be great. The second decision is Bronny James realizes he's no good at basketball, so he's taking his talents to, I don't know,
somewhere
outside of a basketball court.
Yeah.
I think Bronny James would have a badass podcast with Shadur Sanders. I think they should get together. I don't know what you'd call it, but neither one of them could play. But I think they would do a great podcast together.
Son of a goat.
Son of a goat. No,
Instead of son of a goat,
that wouldn't be appropriate. That'd only be appropriate for one of them. That would not be appropriate for Bronny James.
Would be appropriate.
His dad ain't the greatest of all time. We know that, and he knows that. We got a bunch of football from last night coming up, but that's the LeBron news. You got it now.
Football contest season is back, and so is the Las Vegas Football Contest Show, Season 2, the sharpest football contest show in the land. Focusing on all three Circus Sports contests and the Westgate Superbook Super Contest, we handicap the games and release our contest picks every week of the season. Featuring Super Contest champions Brady Cannon, James Salinas, and former NFL player Mike Pritchard, all team will have you prepared this season like none other. Check us out every weekend right here on SportsGrid.
I'm done with the Buffalo Bills, and I'm not upset about it because they look vulnerable. I cannot believe this team is 4-0 because they could easily be 1-3. They go on their heels, and I can't believe they have not one but two double-digit victories in games they could have very well lost.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
Mike Trout, will he ask for a trade? And maybe I'm a bit of a Neanderthal for asking this, and people are going to say, listen, he's never leaving. I refuse to accept that we're just not going to get Mike Trout postseason baseball ever again. Because clearly when healthy, he can still do it. But he's also rarely healthy and still kind of expensive. It's complicated.
Game time decisions. Only on SportsGrid.
Course setup, Bethpage, and how soft the greens were, how long it played. It definitely was an advantage for Europe from my mind, and they putted better.
Well, but do you think, in a weird way, that same setup is what allows the Americans to get back in it today? Because you do see a lot of those big putts made.
Yeah.
The Smiley Show, only on SportsGrid.
Hi, welcome back to the Craig Carton Show. At some point, we all got to take a little break, a little breather with some of the AI videos that are out there right now. Because I spent 3 hours yesterday, and I'll show this to you later on in the show today. I spent hours yesterday watching and rewatching, and I'm mad at myself for enjoying it.
Yeah.
But I got Albert Einstein boxing Stephen Hawking.
What's happening? See?
What are we doing, man?
And just last week, you declared boxing dead,
Yeah, it's
and now
back.
you're spending all these hours watching.
Yeah, it's back. With two dead guys boxing is something that I might be interested in. And yeah, last night the Kansas City Chiefs lost a great opportunity to kind of take, not a stranglehold, but take some control back in the AFC and winning their third straight game. But it wasn't to be. And a couple things that came to mind as they lose to the Jacksonville Jaguars last night. Number one, on the key play of the game, which is the stumble and bumble from Trevor Lawrence, where the right guard steps on his foot, he falls down. And this is crazy to me because he falls down, kind of gets up, falls down again, does get up. You're talking like tick, 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 tick. Nobody from the Kansas City Chiefs, a very aggressive defense in spot like that, ever come anywhere near him, and he waltzes and winds up diving into the end zone to give the Jaguars the go-ahead and the final score of the game to go to 4-1 and beat the Kansas City Chiefs. But a couple things out of that. Number one, Chris Jones took the play off.
Yep.
You go back and watch video now. He doesn't move. He makes no attempt at any point to go get Trevor Lawrence. Now, Trevor Lawrence did a good job last night running the football, but Trevor Lawrence is not Lamar Jackson. You can go get Trevor Lawrence. And Chris Jones made a business decision last night not to go after the quarterback on the key play of the game. That's on him, number one. Number two, I know Chiefs fans are not going to like this because the disparity in penalties called, I believe, was 12-4. 12 penalties called against Kansas City and only 4 penalties called against Jacksonville. But that's not the real story when it comes to penalties because the NFL and the officiating crew tried their best to hand-deliver the game to the Kansas City Chiefs. On the Kelce touchdown, there's blatant pick interference right at the goal line that the announcers even talked about, and it's not called, and Kelce gets the touchdown there. All right, and then later on in the game, when the Jaguars have the lead on the ball in the fourth quarter, and Trevor Lawrence throws what appears to be a horrendous interception, and the Chiefs then go like 3-4 plays later, and they get the touchdown to take the lead late in the fourth quarter. Again, one of the Jacksonville Jaguar wide receivers was knocked on his ass before the pass got to him, and it was blatant interference right in the middle of the field, and that was uncalled. So while, yes, the Chiefs got called for 3 times as many penalties than the Jaguars did, the reality is that the refs still tried to give Kansas City the opportunity to win the game on both the Kelce touchdown, which is a blatant pick, cannot be argued against that, and then the non-call on the interference on the Trevor Lawrence interception. And that, it got me to thinking, when you look back on the dynasty that the Chiefs were, and obviously a loss last night, going to 2-3, 0-3 now in one-score games, look, history cannot be rewritten, and I appreciate that, and I understand that. But you cannot find a Super Bowl championship win or winning season for Kansas City where the referees didn't play a role in it. And now that the referees are not just giving the game to Kansas City and calling egregious penalties against the opposition, we've now officially leveled the playing field. And in leveling the playing field, we now recognize, while there's still a very good football team, and Patrick Mahomes is still the best quarterback for my money in the NFL, they're human again. They're beatable again. That's a game last night they never would have lost in their quote-unquote heyday. They wouldn't have. That's a game they would have found a way to win, and the officials tried everything they could, in my opinion, to help them secure the W. Because the story today would have been twofold. Let's say Kansas City does win the game. From the Kansas City perspective, it would have been, we're 3-2. We've won 3 consecutive games. We're only a game behind the Bills for the best record in the AFC. The Chargers have now lost back-to-back games. The Raiders stink. The Broncos might be our biggest competitor for the division. The Chargers also lost Amara Hampton for 4 weeks. He got hurt. So their running game takes a big shot, right? So all of a sudden, the Chiefs are back. The Kansas City Chiefs become the favorites again to win the AFC West, and maybe, you got to consider Buffalo, of course, maybe even have home field advantage, right?
Yeah.
That's what the story would have been had Kansas City won. Kansas City loses, and now there's blood in the water. There is no dominant team. There is no team to beat, all due respect to the Buffalo Bills, but they just lost a divisional game to the New England Patriots.
Yeah.
I don't think the Patriots are all that great. I know we all like Mike Vrabel. We all think Drake May's going to be a very good quarterback, but the Buffalo Bills lost to the New England Patriots. So who is the team to beat? It would have been Kansas City, in my opinion, had they won last night. But now that they're showing kind of like Superman's frailty to kryptonite, every other team now knows we can beat them in a close game. We can beat them in a one-score game. And the proof is in the pudding. They are 0-3 this year in one-score games. So when I'm taking a look now at the entirety of the AFC, I think the Bills are obviously, because record-wise 4-1, they got the best record. But the Jaguars now beat Kansas City. Do the Jaguars get any love? I'm not a Trevor Lawrence guy. I liked Travis Hunter last night. I thought he came out of his shell a little bit more and showed that if you throw him the damn ball, he's really good.
Yeah.
And had a key play on third down against Kelsey, where he gives up, 6 inches and 100 pounds.
Yeah, he played
and I thought he did a good job.
Yeah.
And I also thought if Travis Lawrence looks to his right on one of those final drives, he's got Hunter wide open in the seam for a touchdown. Trevor Lawrence never sees him.
Yeah, Trevor never looked at him.
So that's not on Travis Hunter, right? So I got to consider them. And then here's the craziest thought of all. Are we going to sit here today and acknowledge that the Indianapolis Colts right now are the best team in the AFC?
They are right now.
They can run the football with Taylor. They got a competent quarterback, the way he's playing right now, in Daniel Jones. They are well coached.
They never punt.
They never punt.
They never punt.
And they are going to win that division by 3 games because I don't think Jacksonville's for real. Are we living in a world where the Colts are the team to beat? Say it ain't so, Sally.
Shedeur Sanders will be starting for the Browns by week 9. I am buying this. I am buying this absolutely. At a certain point, Joe Flacco just not the answer. We know they already made the change. Dylan Gabriel is starting this week. We know that. But maybe a team needs a quarterback, and they're willing to trade for Joe Flacco for some level of stability, and then we simply get nothing out of Dylan Gabriel. He is a rookie quarterback when it's all said and done. Maybe there's just no production from him. So why not just move on to a different rookie quarterback that you have just to see what you have? And then, as George, as you mentioned up at the top, you have to evaluate going into next year's draft. So I will absolutely buy this.
The next 4 weeks, Minnesota, Pittsburgh, Miami, New England. I mean, the question is this. If they truly believe that Gabriel could be a future starter, you got to give him more than 4 weeks, right? That's 4 weeks is not enough. Minnesota, that's a rough game, all right, being played, England this week. Pittsburgh, they haven't have a defense. Miami is not very good. New England's supposed to have a good defense, hasn't here. I want to sort of go. I mean, I think Shedeur Sanders is going to start at some point this week. I don't think it's going to be by week 10, although that does make sense here to name him the starter during the bye week, get him 2 weeks here. I'm going to go more, maybe double digits, week 12, week 14, somewhere around there. Because I want to give Gabriel a longer run. I think Gabriel might do some damage here against these lesser defenses here. So I think give him a longer runway here. That being said, I do not think Gabriel is the long-term future of this team. I don't think he's a franchise quarterback at all here. I think he's a number 2 at best here. Sanders could be a number 1. I have doubts about him too. I think Sanders has a better shot. So by week 9, by week 10, I'll sell that. But if you were to give me a couple of more weeks, I would have bought it.
Fantasy Sports Today. Fridays starting at 3 p.m. Eastern. Only on SportsGrid.
I hate the New York Jets. I hate them. I hate them with a passion, man. I was just online during the break.
What happened?
The New York Jets have landed in London. Oh, thank God they made it safely there.
Big game.
They can consider staying there and not coming back. They played the Denver Broncos Sunday morning at 9 o'clock, of course, on NFL Network. I hate the New York Jets. I hate them. I hate them. I hate them. I hate them. I hate them, and I love them at the same time. They're like that, the forbidden fruit, and you get a little taste of it, and you're like, I love it. I love it. I love it. And then they turn their back on you. They cheat on you. They stab you. And you're like, I hate you, but I love you. I hate you, but I love you. I can't get enough of you. I can't stand you. This is what the Jets are to me. The New York Jets put out a tweet this morning when the plane touched down at Heathrow Airport for their big game. There it is right there. What's it say right there? I can't read that.
Just touched down in London town.
Oh, it's a Kanye West song we're singing now?
I think it was, her name was Estelle.
Yeah, with Kanye, right? So now the New York Jets are quoting Kanye. Yeah, he seems like a guy you want to quote, you moron.
In New York, too, of all cities, but whatever.
Yeah,
whatever.
right.
Whatever. Okay. All right.
Right.
Sure. We're not going to notice.
You know, there are Jews that live in New York and are Jets fans. You might not want to be quoting Kanye when you land in London, please. In any event, though, put it back up for a second. Here's what just gets me to my core. All right, so you got 3 Jets there, okay? You have Sauce Gardner on the left. You've got Justin Fields in the middle. Mm-hmm. And on the right, who do you have on the right over there? Breece Hall's on the right.
Who's having a good season.
Breece Hall is having a very good season thus far as the starting running back. He'll get even more carries now that Braylon Allen is out for maybe the rest of the season, right? Here's the problem I have with the Jets. The Jets are completely tone deaf to us as fans. Sauce Gardner, the most overrated cornerback in the NFL today. They paid him to keep his mouth shut from bitching about wanting a trade as they start the Aaron Glenn era. They overpaid him to keep him. He's a walking penalty. He's number 1 in holding penalties, and he's top 10 in interference penalties amongst all cornerbacks in the NFL. He has never come close to being Darrelle Revis. 1. Why would you use Sauce Gardner in a promotional picture when you know or should know, and that's the problem here, the Jets just don't know or have any sense of what their fan base is feeling and thinking in the moment? Why would you use Sauce Gardner when Jet fans right now are pissed at Sauce Gardner because he's never lived up to the billing as a shutdown cornerback? Okay, let's move on from him. The guy in the center is arguably the second worst quarterback in the NFL, second only to Bryce Young. As far as guys that were starting quarterbacks, I'm not going to bring the Brownings into it. He's a backup quarterback. I'm not going to bring Dylan Gabriel into it. I'm talking guys that started the season as QB1. Justin Fields is a lousy quarterback. He's a great guy. He's very popular. His teammates adore him. And one day in the future, he will play in the NFL in the position he was meant to play, which is slot receiver or tailback. He is not a quarterback. So, hey, good news, everybody. The New York Jets have safely made it to London for their game in Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, right? And let's promote the fact that we've made it over there by quoting an anti-Semitic Kanye West and promoting 2 guys that aren't any good. A quarterback that will not be on the Jet roster next year.
No way.
Despite the $40 million they gave him. And Sauce Gardner, who I think if we could trade, we should trade because he's an overrated hot mess. And this is the problem for us as Jet fans. The organization stinks. That's one thing. And, of course, that's the primary thing, the paramount thing. Mm-hmm. That's what bothers us the most, that we root for a bad franchise, poorly run from the top on down. But the thing that gets us even more than that is the fact that the organization as a whole is tone deaf to the fan, right? They'll beat us over the heads about, buying tickets and going to games and all the stuff that we all do because we're all sheep. We go to the games because we love our team and it's our birthright. You're born a Phillies fan, an Eagles fan. I'm born a Jets fan. Yeah. It's my lot in life. I can't help it. When I was 5 years old, I saw the New York Jets play at Shea Stadium against the Washington Redskins and decided that's my squad. That was 1974.
That's how it happens.
Right?
Yeah, that's how it happens.
Oh,
for all
Joe
of us.
Namath, the whole thing, right?
Yeah.
So I can't help it. That's what I am. And yet, for all these years, and all of our complaining about how things are mismanaged and poorly run, they still don't get it. It's one thing to be a bad team. We've all dealt with that in our lives. I don't care who you root for. It's another thing to be a bad team that has no sense at all of what's important to the fan base that employ all of you. And that's what gets me. So good news, the Jets have landed in London. Woohoo! Maybe stay there. Feel free. You don't have to come back. We'd like to save the money. Baseball next.
Football contest season is back, and so is the Las Vegas Football Contest Show. Season 2, the sharpest football contest show in the land. Focusing on all 3 Circus Sports contests and the Westgate Superbook Super Contest, we handicap the games and release our contest picks every week of the season. Featuring Super Contest champions Brady Cannon, James Salinas, and former NFL player Mike Pritchard, all team will have you prepared this season like none other. Check us out every weekend right here on SportsGrid.
The course setup, Bethpage, and how soft the greens were, how long it played. It definitely was an advantage for Europe from my mind, and they putted better.
Well, but do you think, in a weird way, that same setup is what allows the Americans to get back in it today? Because you do see a lot of those big putts made.
Yeah.
The Smiley Show, only on SportsGrid.
We're getting a lot of optimism here, which I don't know about. This isn't a 21-year-old football player, a devastating knee injury that basically blew, the kneecap and also multiple ligaments. And I was like, surgery, awesome, be back for next year. He might be back for next year, but the Tyreek Hill we're used to, Joe, electric on the field where nobody can catch him. People are going to be catching him now, Joe.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
Florida State put up 498 rushing yards on this defense, 8 rushing touchdowns, and they almost averaged 10 yards per carry.
Tough scene.
I mean, you got to be kidding me. It should be 60 to 7.
Yeah. Give me the 7.
I just gave you the 7.
Exactly. And
are you
the
on this?
Point. I'm thinking field goal and maybe a
but
safety,
are you on
Joe.
this? This is your best bet? Okay.
Didn't you read the screen?
I
What, are you not
could
paying
barely
attention
read
to the show?
SportsGrid's College Football Today.
This just in, the Kansas City Chiefs did lose last night. If you did.
Yes.
If you didn't stay up, they're now 2-3 under 500 again. They've got the Detroit Lions coming up, by the way. They are favored at home by a point against the Detroit Lions, but that reeks of 2-4 all over it. Woohoo! You see the schedule right there. Look,
it can get a little ugly, actually.
It could get a little ugly for Kansas City.
They'll beat the Raiders.
3rd place in the AFC West. Yeah.
But that's it, though. Going into their bye, the Lions could be a loss. They'll beat the Raiders. Washington and Buffalo on the road also could be L's.
Yeah.
It could be over for them.
And then you have the Denver Broncos right out of the bye, and they have a very good defense, and they're going to be playing maybe for the division lead.
And then the Colts.
The best team in football right now. Power rankings coming out tomorrow, by the way, here on the Carton Show. But I just want to pivot for a second from our joy of Kansas City losing that game, even though the refs did everything they could to help Kansas City out on the Lawrence interception and the Travis Kelce touchdown. You've got a situation on your hands, Tyrone. People are clamoring about you and your sports fandom because your Philadelphia Phillies are now down 2-0. They lost both games at home because Castellanos doesn't know how to take a bigger lead off second base on an obvious bunt situation, and got thrown out on a beautiful wheel play, which is what they call it in baseball. And while the Phillies' bats were dead for 8 innings, they come alive in the 9th. They have a chance to tie the game in the 9th. And on a one-hop throw from second to first, the Dodgers get that final out. Freddie Freeman with the grab. And they go to L.A. up 2-0, 1 game away from ending the Phillies season without a single playoff win. But here's what I'm trying to figure out. Because clearly I'm enjoying this.
Yeah, a little too much.
Yeah, a little bit.
little bit too much.
Well, look, everyone's yelling, screaming at what's it, Rob Thompson, the manager?
Yeah.
You're yelling at the wrong guy. The Bud was the right play there. Castellanos, who can't be pitch run for there.
You can't run
have
for
to
him.
pitch run for Bader.
Yeah,
because he can't run.
Yeah.
Castellanos
Bader's
has
got
no
the run.
idea that if we're laying down a bunt, I got to get off second base. So you could yell and scream at the manager all you want. The pinch runner was not available in that spot, so at least know that. That's just a factually incorrect statement.
He had to stay in the game.
So then it comes down to, how did the Dodgers pull off the wheel play so perfectly there with Mookie Betts running to third base from shortstop? It's because Castellanos, who knows they're laying down a bunt, he's aware they're going to bunt me over to third, so then any contact, in theory, ties the game and gets us to the 10th inning, or maybe we win the game in the bottom of the 9th. He doesn't take a big lead, number one. He doesn't get a running start on the pitch, number two. And he's slow as molasses, number three.
It's terrible.
That's just called baseball IQ. The manager's going to take the heat for it. In my opinion, the Heat's in the wrong direction. The Heat should be on Castellanos, not getting off second base further, taking a bigger lead, and starting that run, knowing he's got a piano on his back.
And truth be told, he likely shouldn't even have been at second. The ball beat him by a mile, and it was a terrible tag, and he happened to get there
with
second.
the left hand.
He likely shouldn't even. He probably should have been out before.
Yes, it was idiotic to go to second. He benefited from. I give him credit for getting his left hand around the tag.
But it's not a great tag.
Because he's slow.
Yeah.
He's slow.
He shouldn't have been there.
So stop yelling at the manager. But here's what's interesting to me. The Philadelphia Phillies have just under $1 billion committed in Bryce Harper, Trey Turner, Rio Mutu, and Kyle Schwarber.
Yeah.
All right?
Two of those guys are free agents.
It's $927 million.
Yeah.
Allow me to round up to $1 billion. It just sounds better.
It's right there.
It just sounds better when a team in Philadelphia is wasting $1 billion in talent. Those four guys making $1 billion in this series, 2 for 26 with 11 strikeouts. It's almost like they played for the Yankees, the way they've completely disappeared in this postseason. But I want to narrow this down a little bit more if I can, because there's an interesting thing happening right now in Philadelphia. And look, I used to live in Philly. I married a woman from Philly. My in-laws still live in Philadelphia. I did sports talk in Philly. So maybe more than any guy that's not doing sports talk in Philly now, I've got a pretty good handle on the Philadelphia sports fair. I think that's fair for me to say.
Sure.
All right? And I'm also beloved in city.
That's
in
not
the city
true.
of Philadelphia.
No.
I walk the streets. They throw rose petals at my feet. They love me there.
They don't. Those are bricks. Those are red bricks, not red roses.
They look like rose petals. Right. Here's the thing. It's an interesting societal, I don't know what the lesson, I guess, we're learning in real time.
Yeah.
You have two superstar athletes I want to focus on for a moment in Philadelphia right now and how they're treated. Because it seems odd to me that your guy, Bryce Harper, who's a first ballot Hall of Famer, let me just say that out of the gate.
Two-time MVP already.
He's a first ballot Hall of Famer and has historically been very good in the postseason. Historically,
absolutely.
Right?
He was the only one to hit against the Mets last year.
Right?
Only one.
And they've never won a World Series with him. Obviously, Washington won their World Series right after he left, which is a little dagger, I think, into his soul. All right? But he's never won a World Series. And this year, he had a couple opportunities thus far in the 2 games against the Dodgers to come up with a big hit in a big spot. Very similar to Aaron Judge, to be fair, in New York, right? And he hasn't come through this year, this postseason, for the Philadelphia Phillies. I don't hear boo about Bryce Harper. I don't hear anyone taking shots at Bryce Harper. I know it's a very tough media in Philadelphia. They do not seem tough on Bryce Harper.
They rarely
There you go,
are.
1 for 7, 3 Ks.
Yep.
It's like he's their favorite adopted son because he's not from Philadelphia. But Bryce Harper walks on water. No one says a thing. Jalen Hurts has been to 2 Super Bowls, won a Super Bowl, been a Super Bowl MVP. And if you get Philly fans on the wrong day, let's say like Monday, yesterday, after the Eagles don't win their game and have their first loss of the season, Jalen Hurts sucks. Jalen Hurts overrated. Jalen Hurts not a franchise quarterback. Jalen, blah, 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 blah. You hear it, right? You live there.
Oh, yeah, a lot of it.
And I'm trying to figure out why one guy in Philadelphia has brought you the championship. and was the MVP of the Super Bowl. One of the most dominating offensive performances in Super Bowl history when they beat the Chiefs last year. The other guy is 1 for 7 with 3 strikeouts and had a couple chances yesterday to break the game open or get Philly back into the game and came up small. But I don't read, I don't see, I don't hear a single negative comment about how Bryce Harper did not get the job done in the clutch. Why do we have 2 sets of rules in Philadelphia? One for Bryce Harper and one for the guy that has actually won.
Well, I want to be careful with the answer.
Go ahead.
But one thing I will say is the most popular Eagle after the Super Bowl wasn't Jalen Hurts.
No, it was not. Saquon.
It was
right?
Saquon or Cooper DeJean.
Cooper DeJean.
I
think there's a theme here. Are you suggesting that your favorite city curries favor to the white guy and not the black guy?
I will say that the Phillies' last World Series, you had 3 star players in Ryan Howard, Jimmy Rollins, and Chase Utley from that team. 3 stars for the Phillies at that time.
Absolutely right.
2 of those guys won MVPs. Rollins and Howard, by far the most famous, the most favorite in the city by a
They don't buy a beer no matter what. I'm with you. Yes.
It's Chase Utley.
Chase Utley?
It's Chase Utley.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
You think Philly fans favor Chase Utley over Ryan Howard and Jimmy Rollins?
Not only do I think it, I know it.
All right, so here we're getting down to it now. So you've got one guy current now. Let's move back to current day. One guy has not delivered the goods, meaning he has not won a World Series.
That's right.
They've gotten to a World Series with Bryce.
And he was great.
And they've been in the playoffs multiple times with Bryce. And again, I want to be fair. Historically, Bryce Harper shows up in the moment.
Oh, yeah.
Bryce Harper gets the big hit historically. Regular seasons, not as much, but historically, big spot, big moment. He ain't Aaron Judge. He gets the job done.
Yes.
This year, not so much. And they're most likely going to be eliminated out in L.A. either tomorrow or the next day,
one
right?
of the next 2.
I don't think the Dodgers lose back-to-back, but we'll see how it plays out. But I don't hear it. I'm online all day. I see no hate towards Bryce Harper and the other dude in Philly, Jalen Hurts.
Just balls.
They did a poll,
wins.
top 5 most popular athletes in Philadelphia. He's not on it.
No.
And I'm in my head, I'm like, the guy won an MVP for you in the Super Bowl and brought you a parade. And yet Bryce Harper walks through South Philly like he owns the place, and his last name ends in a vowel. Jalen Hurts walks around town, and there's certain towns he's not welcome in.
Don't love him.
I don't. What a dopey city you live in. What a bunch of animals.
Still a great city. Still a great city.
Bryce Harper better get a hit in Game 3, I'll tell you that. We got more coming up.
Keep this on me for now, right now. Uh-oh. I was the one telling the people out here, the Notre Dame Fighting Irish, if they lost the first 2 football games of the season, would still be in the hunt to make a college football playoff. I talked to Joe Lisi quite a bit during the week, and you know what Joe Lisi's been telling me? Notre Dame just might be the best football team in the country right now, and I believe him. I do. Rolling over teams. The offense is out there right now, and I don't think anybody can stop them.
SportsGrid's College Football Today.
Is it going to be Gabriel over the next 4 or 5 weeks? Or is it going to be?
I know.
Is it going to, but that's where they're at right now, because that mentality, changes. We go from rebuild at 1-3 to all of a sudden at 2-3, the bell goes off, and he in his head sitting, probably drinking a beer at night, goes, "Hey, I can get this team to the playoffs."
You listen,
but that's the way these coaches think.
Pro Football Today, only on SportsGrid.
So let's just start right there. Malik Neighbors, Tyreek Hill, done for 2025. Think of the managers that invested the draft capital. Man, oh man, what to do?
Yeah, this is really tough. I had people message me, man, I had Neighbors and Hill, and I lost them both in the same week. That's tough. It's a tough day at the office for sure. And that's why you watch us here on FST, Fantasy Sports Today. We're trying to help you.
Fantasy Sports Today, only on SportsGrid.
At this event, people from Amazon and Alexa made it very clear that in addition to Sports Highlight coming up, you will be able to perhaps buy sports tickets to events, buy movie tickets, arrange fantasy football teams, and I think somewhere down the road, maybe not too far down the road, given the NBA on Prime deal, they will allow sports betting on the television set through Alexa Plus.
Newswire. Only on SportsGrid.
There is one fan base right now that is thrilled that the Phillies are down 0-2, and the Yankees, who do play tonight, Carlos Rodon on the mound trying to save their season. Met fans are loving this.
Yeah, they're enjoying it. They are.
Met fans are like, Yankees might get swept tonight in their own building. Phillies might get swept tomorrow in L.A. And the only group of people I know that are getting joy out of both those things collectively are New York Met fans sitting back going, oh, yeah, this is the best thing that ever happened to the New York Mets because we can't win a World Series. So let's do a little Schadenfreude here and hope that our two biggest rivals, the Yankees in town and the Phillies out of town, let's hope that they both get swept. I can feel it. You walk around the streets of New York, Met fans are like, Yankees suck, Phillies are worse. Yeah,
even Ethan, our old producer, happier today somehow, even though his team has been home.
He's on a week-to-week contract, so we'll see how the rest of the week goes. All right, time now for news and notes. Life is hard being a New York Knicks fan. I've been one. It's of all my teams, that's my favorite team, and it's 1973, the last time we won. This, of course, will be our year. But every year there's like a little story where they like to twist the knife right into our backside, and it came out early this morning where this offseason, the only franchise that Giannis wanted to play for if he did not stay in Milwaukee was the New York Knicks.
Yeah.
There were conversations with the Knicks about what would a trade package look like. One of the things I do respect about Leon Rose and James Dolan is that this never got out.
No, this was August.
It never leaked out where we even heard certain players' names associated with the trade, which is always, gives a guy a bad feeling, like you really want to trade me, then why am I here? But that means to me that we were this close, man. This close. And I'm sure we would have had to have given up, a lot of current players that I like a Josh Hart type of player maybe. And obviously a boatload of draft picks, which don't bother me as much. But the fact that you tease me with the reality that the only team Giannis would even consider going to, of all the teams out there that he could have gone to with a chance to win a title, were my beloved New York Knicks. And now I get to deal with the reality that I'm not getting Giannis. And look, Giannis is in his prime still.
Oh, yeah.
And if you put Giannis on the New York Knicks, as long as Jalen Brunson stays here, I don't care about, I love the other guys, don't get me wrong. The Knicks, it's not even debatable, are the number one seed in the East. That's a period stop job right there. So I saw that this morning, and as much as I felt good that we're now at a level where a guy like Giannis wants to come play for us, it's like, Pamela Anderson in her prime going, you want to come over for coffee? And I'm like, yeah. And she really just meant coffee. Yeah, like, why tease me like that?
Well, she might have.
It's like the one time Carmen Electra asked me to go out for drinks with her.
Oh.
And I
Carmen
didn't go.
Electra. You didn't go.
I didn't go. No, man, I'm happily married. I love my wife.
Were you married at the time?
Yes, I was married at the time. Yeah, my wife's hotter than Carmen Electra. Plus, she was with Dave Navarro and Dennis Rodman.
Well,
you don't go near that. Once those two guys have their way with a woman, you have to say no, thank you, ma'am. Yeah, but it's like a tease. We get teased as Knicks fans, so I did see that story. That's number one. Number two, I used to have a show called The Carton Show and then Breakfast Ball on FS1, and that show no longer exists despite its very successful ratings on social media. But now I know why they couldn't afford to pay me anymore.
Oh, why?
Because apparently FS1 put all their Carton money into Kash Patel and J.D. Vance.
What?
Yeah. The head of the FBI and the vice president. Look, they got Kash Patel and J.D. Vance doing baseball games.
Yeah, and they put Adam Wainwright in between those two guys. Adam Wainwright probably wasn't cheap either. That guy won World Series.
He probably wasn't cheap either.
But he was the cheapest of the three.
There's no doubt about it. I'm like, now it makes sense. That's why your Breakfast Ball had to go away. Because those guys
couldn't cut the check.
Those guys are
limited checks.
Those guys are very, very expensive. Then You know, I'm a jingoist at heart. Like, if America's in some type of international competition, I'm into it, right?
100%.
And there's a huge sporting event today, and it's not what many of you think. A lot of you are thinking right now, oh, Craigie's actually going to acknowledge hockey? You know, the NHL opens up tonight.
Triple header tonight.
But you know, unfortunately, we live here in the Carton Show world under the umbrella of nobody cares about hockey, Boomer. Unfortunately, now I love hockey, but
it's the other people. It's not. It's them,
it's not
you.
Me.
It's them.
It's just the entire American audience that dictated that nobody cares about hockey. But if you're not watching hockey tonight and you're not watching the Yankee game tonight, you know, against the Toronto Blue Jays, there's a major international event, and we rock at it. And I'm down with it because now I can tell my daughter, you too can be a professional or a world-class athlete. You know, a lot of women don't think they can be. I told my daughter.
I don't know if I want to be around this. What are you about to say?
Now, my daughter, just for background sake, is the all-time leading goal scorer in New York City high school history.
Wow.
Yeah, that's right.
That's impressive.
But she's a really good athlete.
Yeah.
And I sent her this video because we dominated this. There you go. International dishwashing. I told my daughter, I found the sport for you, baby.
Oh, my
Because
goodness.
she don't play soccer no more.
Well, what are we doing?
Yeah, look, bang, gold medal. That's us at our best.
USA. Rocking it. Rocking it.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. That's fantastic. I have a fantastic now.
Now, which would you rather watch? Would you watch the NHL tonight or international dishwashing?
You know, I wanted to ask you about that because, see, in my previous show, this is my first job.
Yeah.
I used to be called Pucks Johnson, and once a year I would do a symposium called Black Pucks Matter. And I was wondering if Black Pucks Matter could come over here perhaps once per year where I do a little symposium to try to get more of the people that look like me into watching the sport.
We could set up a special one day.
Can we do one time?
Yeah, why don't we do it right around the outdoor game, which is down in Florida this year.
There we go.
We can do a Tyrone A. Johnson
That's right.
Carton Show special.
That's right. Black Pucks Matter.
Black Pucks Matter.
And I try to get people that look like me to try to watch the sport.
When I first got to Philly, so mid-'90s, I go to Philly, and the Flyers had Eric Lindros, and they were very, very good.
Well, they started with you with the Lindros.
It's all good, it's all good. And they actually went to a Stanley Cup final. They got swept by the Red Wings.
Yep, that's correct. That is correct.
And I was doing a show with a former Eagles football player named Gary Cobb.
Nice man.
And Gary Cobb had one of the great quotes of all time, because as an African American, there weren't a lot of African American hockey fans in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
And Gary was like, "No, we got to get into this. Like, it's a local team. We got to support the local team." And he came up with a great line, and I've used it many times since. He goes, "Craig, here's what you don't understand. Hockey's in the hood." And it just resonated with me.
Hockey's in the hood.
Hockey is in the hood. So in January, we'll give you a Pucks Johnson. What's it called again? Black Pucks Matter.
That's
we
right.
got it. We got one more segment coming in. Some more NFL coming up right after this.
Football contest season is back, and so is the Las Vegas Football Contest Show. Season 2, the sharpest football contest show in the land. Focusing on all 3 Circus Sports contests and the Westgate Superbook Super Contest, we handicap the games and release our contest picks every week of the season. Featuring Super Contest champions Brady Cannon, James Salinas, and former NFL player Mike Pritchard, all team will have you prepared this season like none other. Check us out every weekend right here on SportsGrid.
I'm done with the Buffalo Bills, and I'm not upset about it because they look vulnerable. I cannot believe this team is 4-0 because they could easily be 1-3. They go on their heels, and I can't believe they have not one but 2 double-digit victories in games they could have very well lost.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
Mike Trout, will he ask for a trade? And maybe I'm a bit of a Neanderthal for asking this, and people are going to say, listen, he's never leaving. I refuse to accept that we're just not going to get Mike Trout postseason baseball ever again. Because clearly when healthy, he can still do it. But he's also rarely healthy and still kind of expensive. It's complicated.
Game time decisions. Only on SportsGrid.
Course setup, Bethpage, and how soft the greens were, how long it played. it definitely was an advantage for Europe from my mind, and they putted better.
Well, but do you think, in a weird way, that same setup is what allows the Americans to get back in it today? Because you do see a lot of those big putts made.
Yeah.
The Smiley Show, only on SportsGrid.
Hi, welcome back to the Craig Carton Show. Don't forget, you can download us now as a audio-only podcast, Apple and Spotify, of course. And in another week or so, get exclusive content on the Craig Carton Show. So please just go to wherever your favorite downloadable podcast site is and download the Craig Carton Show. We do every segment and the entire show as well every single day. And again, exclusive content for podcasts only coming up in a bit. If you're in Miami right now, and obviously I'm a Jet fan, I don't care for the Miami Dolphins. They don't scare me. I'm not threatened by them because they're just as bad as we are. So we're kind of, misery loves company kind of deal.
Kindred spirits right now.
I think the Dolphins have to fire Mike McDaniel. And I don't say that loosely. I get no joy out of recommending that. Number one, they've not been successful in his 4 years. They don't have a single playoff win. And they just lost to the Carolina freaking Panthers, right? They blew a 17-0 lead against the Carolina Panthers. And while that in and of itself really stinks, I want you to hear a little snippet of Mike McDaniel's day after press conference because it is concerning. Listen to this real quick.
He was really frustrated at the, just like he's as I was. And, we talked about the challenge ahead to get ready for the Chargers. That was kind of the extent of it.
Look, I've smoked a lot of weed in my day. I've eaten a lot of edibles in my day. Convince me that guy isn't stoned right there. And maybe he's not. And maybe it's just the disaster that was the outcome of their game against the Carolina Panthers, the worst franchise in the sport with the worst quarterback. You let Bryce Young lead the Carolina Panthers all the way back and beat you after getting out to a 17-0 lead? Like, I know that could drive you crazy, but that's not a coherent human being.
No.
Like, if he got pulled over, right, driving the speed limit, but got pulled over by a cop in Dade County and spoke like that, he would have been arrested and brought into the police station because the cop would have thought he was under the influence
of something.
It wasn't coherent. It didn't make any sense. And I know we've made fun that in the first year of his coaching career, it looked like he was vaping on the sideline of a game. I think it was against the Bills. That's not a guy that comes across as sober or with it.
No, not at all.
I don't fire him just because of that. But on the heels of losing to Carolina, on the heels of a 1-4 start, on the heels of another lost season under Mike McDaniel's regime, and then you hear that press conference, if you own the team and Stephen Ross is the owner of the team, how in the world do you allow that guy to still remain in place as the face and voice of your organization?
You can't.
And I think Mike McDaniel will get another job. He's made a lot of money. Yeah. He'll be fine. And maybe he'll be an offensive coordinator somewhere else.
Right away.
And then get a second opportunity down the line.
A little more mature.
But the Mike McDaniel experiment in Miami is an abject failure. And when you can't speak after a game in a coherent fashion, that's got to send off alarms and red flags to ownership, doesn't it?
It has to.
So I watched that, and I was legitimately concerned for the man, and then I immediately went to the fact that he probably hit the pen a couple times because he was so depressed over their blowing a 17-point lead against the worst team in football.
He's got to learn how to time that out, though.
Yes.
Because this is not his first time.
No.
You got to know how to win to hit the pen. You don't have to be at your max high when you step to the lectern.
And every day I'm like, man, what's worse than being a Jet fan? I think being a Dolphin fan. I know the Jets are the only winless team in football. Because we lost to Miami, a couple weeks ago. But when I woke up today, at least my team is 5,000 miles away. I ain't got to worry about them. Like, if you're a Dolphins fan, this is right in front of your face.
Yeah.
Your coach seems like he's stoned at a post-game press conference. That's a problem.
It's a big problem.
A big problem. And another problem before we end today's amazing show, so please tell your friends about it. The New York Yankees, Carlos Rodon, an 18-game winner this year, now has the Yankee season on his arm. Aaron Judge, while he's batting damn near 500 this postseason, has not had a big hit yet. They didn't have a big hit before they got to the Toronto series, the wild card series. Didn't have a big hit 2 games in to the division series. At some point, singles are not why we pay Aaron Judge. And yet I sit here today and I believe in my heart of hearts, in my soul of souls, that the New York Yankees will show up tonight. I'm not guaranteeing a series win, but tonight, Game 3 against Bieber, who's 4-2, so he didn't have a lot of experience coming into this game this year. I do believe the Yankees will not embarrass themselves, and I think you will see an offensive output, the likes of which Yankee fans have been waiting for. I am bullish on the Yankees forcing a Game 4 tomorrow night. Either way, we'll be here to talk about all of it, good or bad. Thank you for watching the Craig Carton Show podcast.